Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, January 8th, 2019. This is Jennifer. So let's start right from the top. I want to share with you guys my project board from last year. These are just the projects that I was working on, and mostly big ones, a lot of little projects I didn't even keep track of. But I wanted to share where I was so I could move my project board into 2019. My 2018 project board is very similar to my 2017 project board, but I had rearranged it just a little bit and added and changed a couple of things. And I actually have already changed one of my little titles here. This is how I ended 2018. The only pending project I have on here is the 2019 Talk to Me Tuesday swap. In progress for me is Sweet Reflections. That was at the end of 2018. I'll get to that in a second. Star Trek Row Along is in progress for me because I'm already working on that because I am the organizer and one of the designers. Tops to be pieced. I just have Linus orphan blocks because that's always a thing. I've got lots of blocks and I can at any point pull those out and piece a top. To be quilted, I still have my 2015 Project of Doom signature quilt, which hangs on the door right over here, and I have not quilted it yet because I want to put borders on it and I've made no decision on that. Also my embroidered flowers quilt. So I would like to say that this has made progress. This had, I think, 4 things. We'll get to that in a second. I think this had 4 things when I started last year. There and back again, my Hobbit quilt has moved to quilting in progress. It's about half quilted. I've been picking out some of the bad stitches from when I dropped my bobbin case and messed up my bobbin case on my Juki. So as soon as I get those picked out, I'm gonna finish quilting it. And then bind and label as you wish. My Princess Bride quilt is quilted and it's ready to be bound. I have the binding cut and everything. Our own Jennifer R. Playful Piecing, she quilted that for me, and it's, like I said, it's in my pile of to bind, which is a very large pile right now. Quilted for others. These are Linus quilt tops that other people made that I quilted and bound. So I have 4 of those. I did an Easter quilt that my friend Dominique made that we then gifted to our friend Linda, who moved to Minnesota like a year and a half ago. Has it really been that long? It's been like a year and a quarter, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Now I'm sad. So finishes, I have 2018 Talk to Me Tuesday swap. That is on my bed. I sleep under it every night. My son's cosplay, Parrot and Pirate, that was recent, so you guys remember. We as a group made a quilt for Terry last year. My Linus quilts, this is just my quilts, this isn't fleece blankets or crocheted or anything. I had 11 quilts that were finished, bound, and turned into Linus. Wedding quilt for my brother-in-law and his wife, he got married last year. I recovered my son's office chair, which I didn't show on here because it's really boring, but it needed it. Rainbow Cascade, which was half of my 2017 and half of my 2018. And that was finished, also quilted by Jennifer R. Sewing room redo, that was April of last year, if you guys can believe that. That's when I totally took apart my sewing room, redid it, put in IKEA furniture, got rid of a bunch of like furniture that was falling apart, and reorganized everything, put in my cool bins that I get so many compliments on when I'm standing in front of this unit that's over here. Let's see if you can see these bins. Anyway, so that was in April of last year. That was my birthday gift to myself. And then cushions for my sofa, which I have done. They're just little cushions that I made. So under bind and label, I only have As You Wish because I don't usually keep track of my Linus quilts from here. I just mark them over here because I try to do a couple every month, and so I don't generally move them. I just do tally marks. And then I have a completely separate list that I keep that has all of my Linus donations. This is my list. This is not a Linus thing. It's something I make for myself. And then I write down a description of all the blankets. I'm only going to read one because there are 17 on here and I'm not going to read the description because you saw them all last year. So for example, one of the ones I turned in December that you guys saw was the Batik Rose. That was the one that had the rose with the little trees and stuff. And I just wrote Batik Rose Orphan Blocks, and that is in December, and that was number 16 that I turned in. So I keep track like that, and I've actually got several years worth of these, and I'll add a 2019 one on there this month to keep track of what I turn in this month. In addition to this guy, I've also kept my board from BFF retreat that I did with Jules. So I brought all of these, we were sticking these on the wall and everywhere else, and I brought these home with me and put them on just like a piece of scrap poster board. It's everything that I did while I was at retreat. I've sort of kept track of these, so there's a lot of overlap because it's a lot of Linus stuff, but there are a couple of other random things that I made too. Like I did all the neutral blocks for my swap top quilt last year so that I could finish it for myself. This I'm going to undo right now so that I can show you where I am today. So here's where I am today. Pending projects, still TTMT swap in progress, Star Trek row along. Linus orphan blocks, that's my only to be piece thing. To be quilted, I've moved Sweet Reflections to be quilted because this is Sweet Reflections. When I started 2019, this was not quite 2 rows of blocks, and I have, for my own mental health, been trying to sew a little bit more because I've been spending so much time trying to unbreak Sew Hooked and Fandom and Stitches from all the broken links from Craftsy. I've been trying to give myself a little more time to sew, so I've been leaving a project out and then just coming and sewing whenever I have a chance, and I got this all pieced. I actually put this border on this morning, so this is ready to quilt. Sweet Reflections was not only a free pattern that I shared on Sew Hooked. It's gray and white. Well, these are actually off-white, but gray and off-white offset with colored 2.5 inch squares. The whole thing's 2.5 inches. All of these scraps were from my children's clothes that I made for them when they were little. I bought everything out of remnants. I got stuff from my mom's stash. I recycled clothes. I bought things at thrift stores and cut them up. And these are all leftovers from when I was making them clothes, and I would occasionally make things for my husband or for myself, and that's what all this fabric is. So there's a lot of super random stuff in here. There's flannel, there's cotton, there's like poly cotton, just you name it, it's in there, but it's like little pieces of calico that, you know, I made a dress for my daughter when she was 2. And, you know, she's going to be 24 next month. So some of this fabric's been around for a while. It's well aged. I already have a back pieced for it. It's something I pieced years and years ago out of the scrap fabrics that I have left over. It's crazy. I did it before I was a quilter, but it's flat and it's big enough and it's going to be the back of this quilt. This border was just a random fabric I bought a yard of when we were in Houston this year. I believe it's called Daisy Explosion, but I will try to find it and put a link in the description. So that is Sweet Reflections, which again has moved to be quilted. There and back again, same spot. As You Wish, same spot. Quilted for Others is currently blank because I haven't quilted anything for anybody else yet this year. For Finished, I have a new post-it for Linus so I can make my tally marks, and I have finished 2 cushions for my son to take back to his apartment at university, which is my other show and tell for today. So he and his roommate have a futon that used to belong to my daughter when she was in college, and that is their sofa in their living room, and they have a couple of cushions, but it doesn't have arms, so they kind of wanted some more cushions, so we talked about it, and my son and I came up with an idea, which was this one, and I made this one yesterday. I did this on my embroidery machine. It says Property of Speedwagon Foundation, which is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference. It's a manga turned anime, and it's something that he gets a lot of humorous enjoyment out of. So this is actually a dimple dot fabric, and it's got a zipper back here, pillow inside, and it's actually a purple zipper because that's what I had. You know, it's concealed, so it doesn't matter. This cushion is actually the second round cushion I've made this year, so I need to add another round cushion to my finished because I did a round cushion for one of my son's friends. This one's from a hand embroidered piece I did for Fandom and Stitches way back when we did the Summer of Stitching. I don't even remember what year that was, but I hand embroidered this, and it says, as you can read, "It's." For anyone who is not aware, this is a reference to Monty Python's Flying Circus. So one of my son's favorite shows. So this is another cushion for his sofa. I want to do a little close-up of this because this has been in my personal orphan block collection for quite a few years now. And that is where my projects stand for the year. Don't forget to stop by Fandom and Stitches next Wednesday, not tomorrow, but next week for the Star Trek row along. It is 1 week from tomorrow. There will be a Facebook group. I have not set it up yet, but I will as soon as possible. I want you guys to know that I have an inbox that is exploding with emails. I am doing my best to keep up, but I have been overwhelmed because of all the broken links, and I have people emailing me asking me where things have gone and how to find them and how to get them. I am trying to take care of myself and not spend too much time every day fixing broken links because it is going to be such a huge job that I could probably do only that for the next 6 months, and I'm not going to do that to myself. So I will get back to you. I promise I will direct you to the place you need to go. The links will eventually be fixed, and then it will be just crafting again. If you are looking for my shop, it is on Etsy now. I've had a lot of people email me and ask me where my shop has gone. It is on Etsy now. Just search for Sew Hooked Shop and you will find it. Have a wonderful week, have a crafty week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.